Hi folks, thanks for tuning in to Hobo Alex. Today my video is about the Sennheiser PXC 550 compared to the B&O H9i. How does the 2016 PXC 550 compare to the 2018 H9i? I've had the PXC 550 for more than a year now, and I mostly use it on the plane. I started using it with the cable that is supplied and plugged into the entertainment system, but that got a bit cumbersome until I found this. And if you're wondering what's this, do follow the video. I'm going to put out a link on top. It's actually a Bluetooth transmitter, and I can just plug it into the entertainment system and use the Bluetooth feature with this. As I mentioned, I've been using the PXC 550 for a while, and my friend just bought H9i, so he kind of lent it to me to let me try how it feels, because it's quite expensive, it looks expensive, feels expensive, and I just want to see how it compares to my old PXC 550. Let's have a look. But straight out of the box, you can see it's really luxurious with the color. You can see lambskin here. Yeah, definitely looks expensive. Very good quality as well. So when I first got a headphone, I turned it on and it felt quite bright and not much bass. But I decided that I think to be fair to this, I have to try with the app. So let's try turning it on right now. It's actually paired, and from the moment I pair, you can see it takes a while before it gets connected. Yeah, it's connected now, and let's try the B&O app. So as I was saying, the stock sound from this actually feels very bright and not much bass. In fact, it only got better when I came to use this app, in fact, to adjust the sound. It's quite simple. There's not much things to adjust like equalizer or what. There's this thing called tone touch, and you basically have 4 quadrants, and you, based on the sound that you hear, you can adjust and go to the quadrant where you feel that it's more suitable for you. So I have to compare it to my PXC 550. I adjust it to almost the same, and as you can see, it's way all the way out the top to the left here, where it's warm. So at this point, then I feel that the bass was reasonable enough. So I've been spending quite some time listening to both headphones, and I actually use 2 songs that I personally like. Both songs are from Alan Walker. The first song is Lily. I chose this song because there's a beat coming. Yeah, and definitely this song, it feels much better on the Sennheiser PXC 550 because the bass is fantastic. It has more punch to it compared to B&O. I mean, after I tweaked the sound, the B&O has more bass than when I took it out of the box. But for sure, for this song, for EDM song, the Sennheiser was much better. And then the other song I tried was, of course, the old favorite, Faded, by Alan Walker. It's more, I would say, less bass, more vocal, and actually for this track, the H9i feels much better. There's passages in the song where you can actually hear the slight echo, and I can hear that on the B&O but not on the PXC. So if I were to compare just based on the sound quality, right, I think that's not saying this is better than the other. I would say that the H9i is actually very good for vocals or classical music. It has decent amount of bass, But for me, when I use it to listen mostly hip hop, pop, R&B, EDM, and of course watching movies on a plane, right? The bass on this is felt more and it's way punchier. So it's a personal preference. I prefer the PXC 550 over the H9i. Next, I'm going to go through a couple of comparisons between these two, and just to let you know what I feel about it. First off, the looks. Well, there's no guessing here which is the better one. The old oval shaped ear and very boring black, or the expensive looking H9i. Of course, this looks better. So I guess it's a win for the H9i here. What about the next one, the storage, right? Of course, the H9i can be, the ear cups can be folded, and you actually keep this in a pouch, and this is a size where you have to keep it. It's no protection at all. But the Sennheiser actually, just by twisting it, and you can even fold it. So as you saw in the first video just now, it comes in the case and it folds much neater, much compact, and the case actually offers some protection. Well, okay, next one would be trackpad, right? So both offers trackpad control. So the control is on the right side. I think similar for the H9i is on the right side as well, right? Both works the same. Swipe right, skip to the next one, go back. Now, the big difference I noticed is when we do the volume control. So for volume control on the PXC 550, you just swipe up, and it doesn't just move one volume. It actually moves more as you go up more, or goes down more if you go down more. That is quite handy. So you can slowly go up and then or go down. But for the B&O, I was very frustrated in using because they use a circular motion to change the volume. And at times I feel that if you don't do a proper swipe, you don't get it. So I was like feeling like cleaning my ear a few times just to get the volume up or down. So this, I would say, not so great on a B&O. The other thing that is great on a B&O is the pass-through. So both has pass-through. So I can't remember, I think it was swipe to get a pass-through, and this is double tap. PXC double tap kind of dodgy at times. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. This in fact is better, you can get. And actually the pass-through sounds better on the B&O compared to PXC 550. Okay. What's next? I think let's talk about the app and bring the iPad closer. As you saw just now, the app for B&O is pretty simple, right? What I like about the Sennheiser app, unfortunately, it's not optimized for iPad, so I got to. Let's have a look at the app for the Sennheiser. It's called CapTune. Too much reflection. Right. So it's actually meant for iPhone, not meant for iPad. But you can see there is EQ. You can change different EQ. Right now you can see it's custom. That's because I did a sound check on this. So what's the sound check? So if you press the sound check, it does a series of A and B comparison. If you're listening to music, it will let you choose between A and B equalizer, and you go through a series of tests. So in the end, the result will be a customized EQ that fits your preference, right? The next thing I like about the app is that there's the effects or FX on it. So right now I'm using Director. If I go, you can see, if I click on that, there's also Club, Movie, and Speech. So in fact, all this can be switched on headset itself. There's this button here, and you press 1 to toggle through the different modes. And the great thing about it is, especially if you're watching movies, right? If you look at the director, you can actually see that you can change how much boost you want. As you can see, it's a rumble or a thump. The spatial effect, you can have the singing nearer or further, or there's even reverb. And there's this DLC, I think it's dynamic level control, which is kind of interesting. It's actually, let me get my notes. It's actually a limiter built-in into the PXC 550. So what happens if you're using this and you're listening or watching a movie on the plane, and suddenly the crew makes an announcement, that is always very irritating because the level gets high suddenly. So the DLC on this, the limiter on this, actually reduces that effect, so you won't get a jarring sudden loud volume of the announcement. Both headphones use BT 4.2. The speed of connecting, I've tried both. The Sennheiser connects faster to the iPad compared to the B&O. There's also a voice prompt telling you like phone 1 connected, phone 2 connected, but on the B&O it's just a beep. So if you miss the beep, you're not even sure whether it's connected or not. I think both can be connected to 2 devices simultaneously, and both have what you call auto muting, which I turn off on the PXC 550. Sometimes you move your head slightly and thinks you took off your headset, so it mutes the music. This happens quite a lot, so I had actually turned that off. On the B&O, it's much more intelligent. It doesn't mute so easily, so that's a good thing on it. Okay, come to comfort. I've been wearing this for quite a while already, and it's not very comfortable, although the ear portion is comfortable because it conforms to the shape of the ear. The part where I feel is not comfortable is the headband. This does have some pressure on my head, and after some time I actually have to shift the headband a bit because it does feel I would say painful, but not that painful, but it's uncomfortable. But on the B&O, the H9i, I wore it, listening to music for quite a long time, and no such issue at all. It's very comfortable. Actually, the padding here is not soft even, but I don't know why it feels comfortable. Although the ear portion, because it's around, right, my ears are bigger than this, so actually the ear portion, I feel that this may be slightly better, but it's a tough call because this uses lambskin, and look at that, feels very good. Battery wise, I look up the specs, right? Both with Bluetooth and ANC turned on, the Sennheiser lasts 20 hours and this lasts 18 hours. What sets this apart is that the B&O has a removable battery on this side. I'm not going to take it out, but you can actually twist the cap off and the battery can be changed. Who buys the extra battery to change? I guess no one. On the charging side, being 2016, right, this is still using the micro USB to charge. It takes about 3 hours to fully charge the headset. On the B&O, it uses the USB-C, which is really the way to go now, and it's slightly faster at 2.5 hours to fully charge the headset. Well, we've come to the last part of the video where the question is, Ho bo Alex? Thumbs up. Ho to both of the headphones. If you like a certain sound signature, soundstage where it's a bright and a decent amount of bass and you want to look good, then go for the B&O H9i. But if you want more features, more bass, have more control over the sound that you want, and you don't mind that it doesn't look so good, go for the PXC 550. Of course, for me, it's quite clear I will still be using my PXC 550 for I guess for time to come. And I'll end this video with this old saying, all is gold. Thanks for watching. See you next time.